I watch more urban news and black political talk shows and YouTube channels than Shannon does. And I was very interested in seeing what was being discussed on election night. So I bounced around. First, I watched the Joe Rogan because I wanted to have some fun and comedy in my life. Then I went into the Tim Black show. Shout out to Tim Black on YouTube. Roland Martin's program. Then the following morning, listened to a Karen Hunter on the Urban View. And the black the black news and political analysis of the election, I think, was absolutely despicable.
Okay.
I thought it was extremely lazy and problematic.
Okay.
There is a black elite in this country. I say this all the time. Elites are the same regardless of who you're talking about. White elite, black elite, doesn't matter. These are individuals who they have an incentive to project certain messages to the public because they have a certain outcome that they want to achieve. So here's what I'm saying. I was briefly a part of the NAACP the NAACP in New York City for a couple of weeks, maybe months actually, and I left. And one of the reasons why I left is because I feel like the institution was too embedded with the Democratic Party. I didn't like it, made me uncomfortable, and I removed myself. A lot of these black news shows, these black political talk shows, the host of these various programs, they pretend that they are maybe pretending is the wrong word. I don't want to disrespect their work that way and accuse them of not believing what they're saying. Maybe they believe what they're saying, but they have such a narrow view of the world, and they only can view things from one perspective. They can only view things, black versus white. They can only view things, if you're a black person that thinks differently, you're a sellout, you're a coon, you're this, you're that. And I think it's just, number one, it's disgusting because you're acting like the way white folks used to act 30, 40, 50 years ago, categorizing certain people, claiming that, if you believe something, you should stay out of this space. You don't have a right to voice certain opinions. Mm-hmm. All night long, Shannon, I kept hearing them say that, the reason why Trump got a lot of the Cuban vote in Florida is because Cubans view themselves as white people and they don't really act the way regular Latinos act. That might be the most racist shit you can say about somebody. Because you don't like the way they voted politically, you get to remove how they identify, as if now they are no longer Latin because they vote for Trump. It's the same thing to say. And the biggest frustration with all of this is, I think this is what keeps us as African Americans constantly falling behind everybody else. You got these people who are supposed to be providing a black perspective on certain things, whatever the fuck that means. What does that mean? No, seriously. What? Like, how are you going to provide me a black perspective, but yet I can only feel one way about something? I can, unless African Americans vote this way, then we're somehow letting people down.
Mm-hmm. No. I understand what you're saying. I understand.
I just don't understand why they never get any. I don't see them getting any pushback by anybody. They're allowed to continuously be this stupid, and there's a bunch of them. I'm talking about Roland Martin. I'm talking about Karen Hunter. Mm-hmm. Tim Black is the only guy that I know on YouTube. He has a YouTube show that he does with news. He's a liberal, so me and him disagree on certain issues. He has about 130,000 subscribers, but I like his program because he's honest with his perspective. He also allows everyone to give their perspective as long as they don't get disrespectful. So you can get on his show and, totally disagree with him. You could be a Trump supporter. You could be a super right winger. You could be a libertarian. You can have various perspectives, and Tim will let you get your perspective off, give his point of view, go back and forth, and then move on. And it's a much healthier environment to live in versus these
Yeah.
other shows that I named before.
Mm-hmm.
I think they keep black people stupid.
Okay, now that you have made that argument, I cannot say that I disagree with you. I do believe that there is more than one way of looking at things. Just because I feel a certain way about Trump supporters doesn't mean that is the right way to feel. That is just me feeling the way that I feel. But I do understand that different.
I don't have just for clarity. I don't have a problem with the way you feel. Like, I respect it.
No,
Because
I know, but I understand that. I understand what you're trying to say about people being able to have more than one opinion and that opinion being able to be respected. And I understand what you're saying about how some black news shows don't validate or like
99%.
Don't make other people's opinions feel validated if it's different from their own. Yes, I do believe that people do that, and I can understand what you're saying, and I agree.
But do you think it's as big of an issue as I do? Because see.
No. I do think it's an issue. Okay. I do understand what we're talking about, and I do think that it's an issue. Because I have seen it happen.
Yeah. I wouldn't care that much if I didn't think it had bad implications down the road. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, I think this is kind of setting us up for failure. Mm-hmm. The country is getting more diverse.
Yeah.
African Americans are not the group growing that fast, by the way. Mm-hmm. The abortion rate amongst black women is super high. The homicidal rate in black neighborhoods is super high. And so our numbers aren't growing as much. The Latino community, their numbers are skyrocketing. The fastest growing community actually is not even Latino, which they thought it was going to be around, back when we was in high school. That's why they kept teaching us Spanish. Racist ass. No, seriously, they thought that they thought the country was going to be majority Latin, but that's not what the demographic shifts are telling us. The fastest growing minority in America is actually Asian.
Okay.
Never would have thought.
Okay. Yeah.
Never would have thought. It's Asian, Shannon. Here's the future that we're headed to. Mm-hmm. And I've said this for a while now. I was looking for jobs in New York City a couple of months ago or years ago. I don't remember how long it was. I was looking for work.
Months and years are two different things. Okay.
Yes, but it's hard for me to remember things, Shannon. I'm in a pandemic. And I remember looking for work, Shannon, and a lot of the jobs that I wanted, they had a requirement for whoever was applying for the job to be bilingual. Now, I only speak 2 languages. Well, 3, actually. I speak English.
Mm-hmm.
I speak the love language. And then I speak Pig Latin.
You speak Pig Latin?
Yeah.
Fluently?
Yeah. Now.
Where did you learn that?
I learned it in school.
In high school?
No, junior high school.
Oh, okay.
So those are the 3 languages that I speak.
Okay.
I don't speak Spanish, and I damn sure don't speak Mandarin.
Okay.
I'm bringing this up because for the overwhelming majority of the applications that I filled out in New York City, or no, that I wanted to fill out for jobs in New York City, a huge chunk of them, when they wanted somebody bilingual, they were not looking for people who spoke Spanish, Shannon. They wanted people who spoke Mandarin. America is headed to a place where you're going to have multiple subgroups in this country. You're going to have a Latino population that's probably like 15 to 20%, right? And then within that population, they have various subgroups, but they share language. Mm-hmm. Asian population, the Chinese have a language, the Japanese have a language, the Russians have a language, right? The Arabs have a language. There are only 2 groups in this country, Shannon, who only speak English, and that is the African American and who else? The people you despise.
White people?
Yes.
I don't despise white people.
No, she answered my questions.
No, because I knew what you were talking about, but I don't.
Yeah. We're the only 2 groups, Shannon, who only speak English.
Okay.
As the country changes and these other groups grow, what is the easiest way to discriminate? And I don't like that word because it's not really discrimination, I don't think. If an Asian wants to hire another Asian, that should be his or her right. But what is the easiest way to exclude someone legally? You say must speak
Language.
this other
Yep.
language. And so this has real world implications for us that we are only viewing things through the lens of black and white. And whenever there's something that doesn't fit the narrative, we must find a way to put it in black and white. When we are not the only people in America. like this country does not revolve around white people and black people. But yeah, all of our conversations are like that. And it's frustrating because we're going to wake up 10, 20, 30 years from now, Shannon, needing work. And we're not going to have nowhere to work because we don't speak Mandarin. We don't speak Japanese. We don't speak Chinese. We don't speak Arabic. And the two groups who actually share the same language hate each other.
I just want to throw out, so maybe, yes, you should have used this pandemic to learn another language. Learning Japanese is hard, though. I have tried it. Just kind of throw that out there.
I mean, I speak three.
Not easy at all to do.
What?
Nothing. What did you say? What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that is what has been extremely frustrating for me watching these news shows, these black shows, because and they think they're smart because they have people. See, and this is what bothers me about black people with degrees that going to college showed me that wow, there's so many idiots that go to school. Because it doesn't make you smart.
No.
It makes you, college makes you a specialist, right?
Okay.
So, like, I want to be a doctor, I have to go to school. Then I go to med school. Then I go to, this is a process. I want to be a lawyer, I have to go to school for law, right? And so it's making me a specialist for a certain field. It is not making you more intelligent, though, right? Intelligence is not a singular thing. You can be smart in certain areas, Shannon. I could be smart in others, right? I think I'm smarter than most people, and then I think I'm dumber than a lot more people. And I enjoy listening to the people that make me feel dumb, so I can learn some things. But these these black shows, they have these people come on with their PhDs and they're all saying the same thing. The people with the PhDs are saying the same stupid shit that I heard the people from the block say. So I'm like, do you have anything else to offer, sir, ma'am? Anything? Nothing. And I'm telling you, it's going to lead us down. I can't even tell anymore if they're doing this on purpose, maliciously, or if they're just so misguided that they just don't see that the world is not what it was in the 1950s. They are obsessed with going back. I really feel this way, Shannon. I feel like some of them miss the inequality of the past because they gave people purpose.
Okay.
I really feel it ain't the 1950s no more. It's not just black, white. We got black, white, Asian, Russian, Arab, Spanish, Irish, like, and they can't have conversations outside of black, white. And then they try to put everyone in a category. So Cubans go into the white category. Asians go into the white category. Dominicans, you go into the black category. Puerto Ricans, you go into the black category. I don't know.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's one thing we can agree on.
So then why
you look like you stressed yourself out with that rant, Jabia.
It's been in my soul since Tuesday, so I've been holding this in for so long. It's been like right here since Tuesday. Shannon, all the conversations since then have been just as bad. Like, to me, if when you were honest when I told you about the stats about how Trump expanded his base with every other demographic except white men, and you were honest and you said you don't know how that happened or why that happened, I can respect that. They immediately went to the Cubans are really white people that speak Spanish. Black men hate black women. Misinformation. Like, they just cannot have any dialogue about, well, maybe these people find Trump to be attractive. Maybe they were afraid of Joe Biden. Like, there are various reasons why people vote. But the fact that they just couldn't have any higher level of discussion and dialogue. It's just so frustrating that is the content being consumed en masse by our people, and it makes me frustrated because I know for a fact it is going to bite us in the ass in like 10 to 20 years.